You've mobilized tens of thousands of sellers to make masks on Etsy. Tell us how it's going, how many sellers are doing this, how many masks have you been able to produce?
Yeah, in early April, the CDC changed its guidelines to say that they recommend that people wear fabric face masks in public. And all of a sudden, we had an avalanche of demand on Etsy. We were seeing about 9 searches per second for a product that effectively didn't exist the day before. So we put out a call to our sellers asking them to start making fabric face masks. And within 2 weeks, we had 20,000 sellers making fabric face masks. And what I think is really cool about it is, first and foremost, we need to protect the medical grade equipment for the people who really need it. Essential workers and medical workers. Second is we're providing income to people who otherwise, maybe they sew wedding dresses, for example, and that the wedding industry has been really hard hit. So you're helping your fellow citizen. And third, you can buy a mask that has a sense of style that can express your personality. And so we think it's been a nice opportunity for the Etsy community to come and help.
How does this continue? Talk to us about the biggest challenges of continuing to mobilize your sellers to do this, given that there's no end in sight.
Yeah, I mean, the demand has been overwhelming, and the challenge on the team has been extraordinary. So they woke up on April 2nd to suddenly have the definition of the word mask change. If on March 31st you were searching for a mask on Etsy, you almost certainly wanted a Halloween mask, or you wanted cream to put on your face to make your skin look younger. And literally in hours, the definition of mask needed to change. So the search team needed to work really hard. Our seller team needed to reach out to all of our sellers and get thousands of them to start making. We've produced a lot of information to help our sellers figure out what is the right pattern to use, what are the right fabrics to use, and all the different information that they need to be successful. So it's really been a big effort from everyone. And of course, our sellers that are working so hard to meet this need.
Talk to us about how this crisis is impacting. You've got tens of thousands of, self-employed folks, micro business owners. How are they reeling from this?
Yeah, so let's talk about the bigger impact on, independent workers generally. These are sole proprietors or people who don't earn a W-2. We have about 2.7 million of them making and selling on Etsy. But the community is even bigger than that. There's 57 million independent workers in America. It's about 1 out of every 3 working age people in America is an independent worker. And while all of the best intentions have been there in the CARE Act to provide support for them, they're really not getting almost any support in the PPE, in the EIDL, or in the expansion of unemployment insurance. So we really need to change the execution of those so that they meet some of the most needy communities.
Speaking of that, I understand you're on the board of Shake Shack, and they just today announced that they're going to actually be returning the PPP loan that they received. There was a lot of backlash because A, the money just ran out so fast, and B, a lot of it did go to chain restaurants and larger companies. So, in part because of that, they've returned the money. They've also got capital coming from other places. But tell us a little bit about that decision and where you think this money should be going.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great example of, Shake Shack has been very hard hit, and obviously there's not a lot of people going to restaurants, and Shake Shack did what most businesses would do, which is they get in line and they fill out an application, and they were able to receive funding. But Shake Shack has resources, and they also were able to raise money in the market, and so they gave back the government assistance.